Heavenly Father, we give you thanks for this another opportunity where, as an institution, we can celebrate, yet in the midst of the trying times we face, our accomplishments and our successes. We are thankful that another year we could see our country helped, blessed, changed, and made a better people because of who we are. We are the National Insurance Department. We thank you for the leadership. We thank you for the guidance of the Holy Spirit upon our leaders. And we ask that as we continue to serve our country, that we would indeed see the value that you have entrusted in us. We pray, Father, that you would bless the proceedings of our celebrations. Everything is different. Everything has changed. We borrow from the words of our anthem, recognizing that you, O God, have been the people's guide, and it is with you on the people's side we will have no doubts, we will have no fears. Guide us as we go forward, and give us the tenacity, the strength, the ability to do the best we can to make our country a better place. We ask this in the name of Jesus Christ, who is Lord of all. And we ask this and say amen and amen.
Good evening and welcome to our first virtual GEM Awards ceremony in celebration of the 53rd anniversary of the National Insurance Department. I am Alison Herwood, your host this evening. It's a pleasure to be celebrating yet another year with you. For those of you who are streaming, it is indeed a pleasure to have you as part of this event as we celebrate 53 years of this exceptional institution. Tonight's GEM Awards also celebrate the gemstones of the National Insurance Department and recognizes the value of their hard work. The acronym GEM stands for Great Employees Matter. Gemstones such as the emerald, opal, onyx, and topaz reflect the qualities in staff performance in numerous categories, which you will learn more about later in the evening. Mrs. Jennifer Hunt is the Acting Director of the National Insurance Department. I am delighted to invite Mrs. Hunt to deliver the welcome and opening remarks.
Honorable Mayor Amor Motley, QC, MP, Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, Economic Affairs and Sustainable Development, National Security and the Public Service. Honorable Ryan Strawn, Minister in the Ministry of Finance, and Mrs. Strawn, Retired Justice Mr. Peter Williams, National Insurance Commissioner, and Mrs. Williams, Senator Tony Moore, Mr. Ian Gooden-Edgell, MP and Chairman of the National Insurance Board, Mr. Ian Carrington, Director of Finance and Economic Affairs, Mrs. Nancy Headley, Permanent Secretary, the Ministry of Finance, members of the National Insurance Board, honorees, management and staff of the National Insurance Department, specially invited guests, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, members of the media, good evening. On this, the occasion of the 53rd anniversary of the National Insurance Scheme in Barbados, as Acting Director, the honor is mine, on behalf of the National Insurance Board, to extend a very special welcome to you all to our GEM Awards ceremony. This year, we observe our birthday with a difference. The scheme's importance as the nation's lifeline has been brought into even sharper focus by the widespread negative impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on the workforce and economic landscape. Indeed, from March 23, 2020 to present, at the National Insurance Department, we have received over 49,000 termination certificates, extensions inclusive, and have paid out in excess of $50 million in unemployment benefits. We have worked tirelessly to service the needs of these claimants for unemployment, in addition to maintaining the other categories of service delivery. I know that the past 3 months have been stressful, demanding, and at times emotionally draining for all of us. But this experience has reinforced my conviction that the NIS is made up of great employees, whom I have come to know and respect. I wish to say heartfelt gratitude to you for your human service to your fellow man and country. I wish to assure the public that as essential workers, we will continue to work assiduously to process your claims in the shortest possible time frame. To the staff of this most important public institution, I urge you to continue to let service above self be our focus. Let empathy, compassion, kindness, and efficiency be our watchwords as we live up to the high ideals of our founding fathers and those visionaries who conceptualized the National Insurance Scheme. Tonight we pause to recognize excellence, achievement, and innovation. Necessity truly is the mother of invention. Who would have thought last year that this time around we would be making history, attending this formal virtual award ceremony in the comfort of our living or bedrooms, with our preferred menu, electronic device, and dress code. Imagine our excitement as we accepted change and explored these new possibilities, fully embracing innovation and technology, making lemonade out of the lemon which life delivered. Perhaps this represents part of the new normal. Ladies and gentlemen, the NIS family is delighted that you have accepted our kind invitation to share this evening. I invite you to sit back and enjoy the program which the organizing committee has prepared for you. Again, I bid you welcome.
Pastor John Yard was born with musical talent. His gifted genes passed on from his mother, Shirley Yard, former member of one of Barbados's most established gospel groups, the Nazarene Silvertones. This singer and songwriter is looking forward for the future transitions as God does through him the good works for which he was created to do. We now join John in his studio.
Hey guys, John here. And this song I want to sing for you, it's simply called Count Your Blessings. I wrote this song because I wanted to remind myself and everyone that we have so much to be thankful for. And I always wanted to remind myself about that. And I wanted people to always remember that. So here's Count Your Blessings, one by one by one by one, featuring Nathaniel, but I'm solo today. Yeah. Okay, here goes. Yeah, yeah. Listen, open up your eyes and see the beautiful blessing, this gift that we call life. This gift called life. We only have it for a time, so make sure to spend your moments choosing what's right. Yeah, choosing what's right. Chase what matters, do what's real. Say I love you, laugh until. Make new memories and new friends, cause life is a journey, so keep moving. Embrace the hard times, don't lose faith, cause there'll be sunshine after the rain. Don't give up, don't walk away, cause life is beautiful. So count your blessings one by one, yeah. Look all around you, count your blessings one by one, yeah. So much to be grateful for, your blessings one by one, yeah. It just might surprise you just how much Jah has done, yeah. So count your blessings one by one, one by one by one by one. Count your blessings one by one, one by one by one by one, yeah, yeah. Are you been discouraged, feeling all is lost? Are you feeling hopeless like there is no cause? Count your many blessings, name them one by one, and it will surprise you what the Lord has done. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your blessings, see what God has done. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your many blessings, see what God has done. So count your blessings one by one, yeah. Look all around you, count your blessings one by one, yeah. So much to be grateful for, your blessings one by one, yeah. It just might surprise you just how much. So count your blessings one by one, one by one by one by one. Count your blessings one by one, one by one by one by one. Count your blessings one by one, yeah. So count your blessings. Count your blessings one by one, two by two. Listen, one by one, two by two, three by three. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. One by one, two by two, three by three. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. One by one, two by two, three by three. Oh yeah, yeah. Watch out the blessings that fall upon me. Watch out the blessings that fall upon me. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The Honorable Mia Mottley is the 8th Prime Minister of Barbados. She became the first woman to occupy that high office following general elections on May 24, 2018, in which she led the Barbados Labour Party to an emphatic victory, winning all 30 seats in the House of Assembly by the largest margin ever seen in the electoral history of the country. An attorney at law and Queen's Counsel, Prime Minister Mottley has been active in the political life of Barbados for 3 decades. First elected in 1994, she is presently in her 6th term as Member of Parliament for the constituency of St. Michael North East. From 1994 to 2008, Ms. Mottley served in the cabinet of 3 successive administrations. First as Minister of Education and Culture, then Attorney General and Minister of Home Affairs, and then Minister of Economic Affairs. In 2003, she was appointed Deputy Prime Minister. Prime Minister Mottley currently also holds the portfolios of Minister of Finance, Economic Affairs, and Sustainable Development, along with National Security and the Public Service. Ladies and gentlemen, the Prime Minister of Barbados to deliver the keynote address.
Good evening, friends, members of the National Insurance family. It is my great pleasure to speak to you on this occasion of the 53rd anniversary of the establishment of our National Insurance Scheme. It is one of the great institutions of our country, embodying the values of our nation, the values of our society that are determined to act collectively, to carry all through times of individual difficulty. It is no coincidence that it is almost as old as our nation. It is who we are and who we want to be. My fellow Barbadians, there are few better representations of this than through our national insurance scheme. On this 53rd anniversary, I extend my warmest congratulations to the past and present employees of our department, and tonight's awardees in particular for your valuable contribution. This COVID-19 pandemic has highlighted the crucial role that your department plays in our country. It has been our society's spear and shield, our economy's critical supply line and reinforcement. This year's theme, NIS, the lifeline serving and securing the nation, aptly describes both the expectation of the population and the reality of many applicants in need of some form of income replacement. We all know how many funds this department runs, and quite a few of them are currently under pressure. Within recent months, the National Insurance Department has endured the greatest tests in its 53 years. Across a typical year, you may receive less than 10,000 claims spread through the year. In just 12 weeks, to the 19th of June of this year, 50,196 termination certificates were received, which converted to approximately 35,000 unemployment benefit claims. As of the same date, over 90% of the qualifying claimants have received payments totaling over $52 million. This significant increase in the volume of claims has called for an all-hands-on-deck approach by the staff of the department, which has been working beyond the call of duty to have benefit payments made as quickly as possible. I thank you for that effort. A new advance payment process was rapidly developed to get out the payments faster than normal. And within these short 12 weeks, new benefits to members like the one I introduced called the Business Interruption Benefit for self-employed workers were developed, rolled out, processed, and paid. I thank you for that too. Definitions and eligibility were modernized to address an unprecedented crisis, the scale of which no one in the world has seen in over 80 years. The architects of the Catastrophe Fund, for instance, never imagined of a catastrophe on the scale of a global pandemic with billions out of work, the cessation of all travel, millions fallen ill, and regrettably, so many lives lost. In all of these efforts, the government has worked to support the scheme. I make the solemn pledge tonight that no matter how well the scheme has endured its greatest tests, the government of Barbados stands fully, unflinchingly, unequivocally behind this scheme. But the scheme's future success depends on all of Barbados getting behind it. For a great many, the scheme has shown that it is there for you, for your future. But we all need you to be there for the scheme as well. Regrettably, too many still do not make their contribution. Too many are now regretting the absence of that contribution today. And I trust that they will remember this moment in time. Let no one in the future act with regret. Let us all honor, respect, and contribute to the scheme because the contributions are affordable, but the benefits are absolutely critical and necessary in times such as this. This pandemic has underscored how much our society depends on our essential workers. And as an essential service of government, the National Insurance Department remained open to business throughout the period to meet your needs and the needs of thousands of other applicants when the country was under curfew. The staff, especially those of you in the immediate front line, followed the necessary protocols to safeguard both yourselves and the customers with whom you dealt. We implemented several measures to reduce the risk of contracting and spreading the virus and to protect your health and the health of customers. It is also expected that the online measures introduced during the curfew will reduce physical customer interactions and will be further refined to become permanent additions to our way of doing business. This evening, I wish to praise all of you, all of the staff of this department, for your sacrifice, for your hard work done during this period. And if I say thank you, thank you, thank you, there's never enough times that I can thank you, largely because you did it while others reflected on it. The impact of the pandemic has given us that opportunity to do better than we have before, and to pause for introspection and to connect with our loved ones on a deeper level. As it continues, staying resilient and optimistic will be a challenge. And whether you are working at home or on the front line, I urge each of you to keep rising to the challenge. Today, we are COVID-free in Barbados, but we recognize that we are not past the worst of it, and therefore vigilance must be our immediate companion. In this time, it is easy for some to lose sight of some of the plans for transformation of our nation. But the crisis has underscored for me the reason why we must transform our country, because we have to become more resilient in this world with the risk that we are seeing on an unprecedented scale. We haven't even started to talk again about the climate crisis, but we are in the middle of the hurricane season. My government remains also committed to the digital transformation of this country with the aim of improving the quality of service and the efficiency everywhere. You are on the front line of this challenge too. You are the largest issuer of checks on the island, with approximately 70,000 checks being issued every month, with pensioners receiving the largest volume. We must transform. We have, for more than 20 years, offered the option to lodge pensions to bank accounts, and this option would allow pensioners to receive all 4 weeks' pension in one payment instead of the two-week payment intervals of those receiving checks. The department also facilitates 4-week lodgements to pensioners with accounts at all the major credit unions. Similarly, every month, increasing numbers of existing pensioners are registering to switch to the direct deposit option, and we encourage more to do so. All new pensioners will be required to provide bank or credit union account data for the lodging of their pension payments going forward. But the change has been a little too slow, and we now know why we need to accelerate. Members who still depend on these checks are particularly vulnerable in a world in which you may not be able to step outside your home, but you can order things you need online and you can have them delivered. And we saw that recently with groceries. I am announcing tonight, therefore, that from the 1st of September 2020, the National Insurance Department will no longer be printing checks for short-term benefits such as unemployment, maternity, and sickness benefits. We are requesting that persons who register with the department submit their banking details to receive their payments electronically. I'm giving you this leeway and notice because those who have difficulty securing bank accounts or credit union accounts need to come forward to the National Insurance Department, and we will run the necessary public service announcements to ensure that this happens. But if you come forward and indicate the difficulties that you're experiencing, then we will be in a position to be able to meet your concerns while at the same time meeting the absolute imperative of transitioning. We have been promoting direct deposit regularly with notices in both the traditional and social media. And I commend the department for offering the electronic services such as payment by debit or credit card, or online portal, or direct deposit to your contributions bank account. And in the future, we hope through electronic money wallets for those without the bank accounts to which I just referred. Believe you me, we can move to the next level. This department was formed 1 year after I was born, and I have seen many changes in my life, and I know that this department can also see changes in its functioning, because we need to be able to be more efficient in meeting our client class. I hope that there will be a seamless transition, therefore, to the electronic payments, and we will be working with the digital ambassadors of the Ministry of Innovation, Science and Technology to help anyone switch over in the event that they need such assistance. I salute the passion of the employees who continue to show empathy in many instances and a display of commitment to their work, professionalism, and indeed The level of service that they provide on a daily basis to customers is largely one that most people are happy for. To the awardees tonight, I salute all of you for continuously striving for excellence and maintaining high standards in your respective departments. The great Employees Matter Rewards, the GEM Rewards, is appropriately called because you need to know that in this 16th year of this program, that we continue to recognize and value each of you more than ever, especially at this time. The long service awardees have served the National Insurance Department between 10 and 45 years. I applaud them and this department on that warm and productive partnership. My friends, let us be reminded that as we salute our employees, that we are effectively saluting the service that they give to our customers who are the citizens of this nation. I ask each of us, therefore, to redouble our efforts and to recognize that this agency represents a key component in maintaining the stability of our nation and our people. And I give you the assurance that our government will do all that we must do to stabilize it for future generations, because we did not come to see its end, we did not start it, and we will simply play our role by passing the baton to the next generation. But in passing the baton, we clearly, as a result of what we are facing today, need to strengthen it. May God continue to bless all of you, and may it allow us as a nation and you as a department to be able to take care of the people of this nation. I thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and I look forward to being able to engage with you in the ways in which we used to do in the past when COVID is all over. God bless you all. Thank you.
Now on to our GEM Awards. We begin with our Emerald Awards for long service. 10 years of service to the National Insurance Department. We start with Betty Ann Callender, David Bayer, Jacqueline Sobers, Shamika DePisa, and Tamikia Skeet. 15 years of service to the National Insurance Department, Faye Agard. 20 years of service, Andrea Aline, Christabel James, and Jennifer Hunt. 25 years of service, Ian Riley. Lisa Wood. For 30 years of service, Heather Hurdle and Christopher Beckles. 35 years of service to the National Insurance Department, Caroline Smith, Gail Lewis, and Nigel Morris. For 40 years of service, Kathy Williams and Joel Ford. The final long service award goes to Mr. Eric Nichols. Eric celebrates 45 years of service to this institution. Mr. Nichols joined the National Insurance Department on the 13th of August 1974 as a clerical officer and worked in the benefits section and also the computer room. In 2007, he was promoted and appointed to the position of senior clerk. Mr. Nichols was again promoted to act in the compliance section as inspector from October 2011 until present. We're going to hear more about Eric as we join Mr. Wayne Giles, Finance Officer and President of the NIS Sports Club.
Eric, always purposeful and thoughtful in his actions. That constant reminder of the aims and objectives of the National Insurance Sports and Cultural Club. That is to uphold the name of the National Insurance Office at all times and to foster good relationships among members of staff. I've only known Eric since 2002, but I know two individuals who have known him for more than 45 years. Beverly Marshall, she joined the organization in 1972, and she retired some 2.5 years ago, having celebrated her 45th anniversary. She will share from her home, and then we have David Harper. He will join us from the USA, but he actually joined the organization the same day as Eric did.
Hi Eric, sorry I cannot be there with you at this time, but I would like to congratulate you on reaching this milestone, 45 years in the public service, and that is not an easy achievement. You came in 1974, we started in Gemmett's Lane, and then we moved down to Fairchild Street. Eric is a very good worker, very meticulous, everything. We lived with like a family at that point in time, we shared everything. And some things about Eric you might not know. Eric had a great appetite. Every day he had a different meal. You knew the days of the week by Eric's meals. But on Mondays, when we were all warming up our food from Sunday, Eric had a lunch pan of sandwiches. I said, but where do you have sandwiches? He didn't like leftovers. And I could swear that Eric had a whole sandwich, loaf of sandwiches in that tin. Then he brought macaroni pie. He didn't bring meat. He had vegetables. I said, Eric, where's the meat? He said, that would be double protein. Good sense. He would eat the meat when he got home in the evening. Eric was fun. Eric is very reliable and a real good supporter of the National Insurance Sports Club. He didn't want to be president or anything. He just worked in the background. Last man standing. All the facts, the socials, you made the mess, but you can rest assured that Eric and Wayne, cleanup crew, when you come back the next day, everything was in order, like nothing was there. Eric was really, really reliable. Another thing I bet you didn't know, Eric loved crop over. Eric jumped every crop over, and imagine which band he jumped behind. Roberts, of all bands. It was free. Then National Insurance we had our crop over back in 1994, and then he jumped with us too. Eric, fun, excellent worker. I'm so glad you reached this milestone, 45 years. That is really good. Congratulations. Keep up the good work. God bless.
Hello, Eric. This is Dave Harper. First, let me offer my sincere congrats to you as you've reached this significant 45-year milestone in your professional career. You've been truly blessed, my friend. We go back a long, long way. Did I say long? Sorry, I'm getting old. Must be short-term memory, I guess. To our high school days. I can still remember your amazing afro. Yes, it was the envy of so many of their other high school buddies. Boy, it seemed like yesterday, but I can still remember the days of white bush jackets and gray pants. But that was then. If we fast forward to the post-high school years, you, Charlie, John, and the other guys liming at Tony's pad. But that was short. So let's fast forward to that morning in August 1974, I believe. We met at Service Commission. For sure, it must have been fate, because I had no idea that we were not only both called to join the civil service the same day, but also, along with David Morgan and Marcy Willoughby and others, will be joined at the hip to NIS. Remember our first job, sorting through those green return benefits vouchers and reconnected them to their carbon copy? I think that job set us on a course to become master staplers. By the way, that was supposed to be a laugh out loud moment there. Oh, the good old days at Gemmett's Lane. I wonder if you remember playing basketball in the office using a trash can as the basket. Okay, you may not want to admit that. One, I'll have to ask David Morgan to remind you. Fast forward again, those fun-filled picnics, Christmas parties at the Gemmett's Lane office. Although we moved to Fairchild Street a few years later, the good times just seemed to roll on, and the camaraderie among you and other members of the office never waned. In fact, I cannot recall an event, Eric, that you did not attend or support. That is a testament to your commitment and a measure of your character, my friend, to connect with your NIS family. Thank you for contributing to my work experience. Eric, I left NIS to chart another course myself. and miss the remainder of your fruitful career at NIS. But although we did not end our careers together at NIS, I feel truly honored to have been granted a few minutes on this virtual stage to share this personal on a small chapter in your NIS career, because it offered me an opportunity to place my personal and hopefully meaningful bookend to a journey we started so many years ago. As I close, let me echo a WhatsApp chat I shared with Wayne as we discussed my participation in this milestone event. My post-NIS years have led me to many organizations, but Eric, it is colleagues like you that to this day have shaped my idea of a meaningful work environment. Hence, NIS remains one of the truly amazing and more meaningful places I've worked or had the privilege to be a part of. A personal thanks to you, my friend. So as I exit and leave the stage for those who've been closer than I to the remainder of your NIS tenure, I'll let them fill the fruitful chapters in your esteemed career. So congrats, my friend, on your significant milestone. Continued success, and may you be blessed in all you may do in life's journey. Thanks, and I'm deeply humbled to be part of this event. Dave.
Eric, congratulations.
There are 3 gems who have spent a considerable amount of time with us. They are about to start a new journey. It is called retirement. We are going to hear a few words from some of our colleagues on their behalf. Retiree Mr. Joel Ford entered the public service on the 13th of September 1975. Joel then joined the National Insurance Department on the 2nd of October 1979. He worked in the benefits section as senior clerk until his tenure on the 1st of June 2020.
I met Joel in the year 1986 when I came to work at the National Insurance Office. And my first impression of Joel was, this man can't talk, because whenever a question was asked of him, he would always mumble something that was not audible. I later learned that Joel was a man of few words, but those words held a lot of weight. Joel was very serious when it comes to his work. And there were times when the computer system would be giving us a lot of trouble. And you would hear Joel during the day saying, I ain't get to do a lot of work. The quota for a person was 25 to 30 claims per day, but Joel's quota was 85 to 100. So when he did not meet that quota, he used to be very, very angry with himself, even though it was the computer giving trouble. Joel was also very generous, and on a daily basis you would hear him as our colleagues pass his desk saying, I got something for you. And he would reach in his bag or the desk and he would pull out some goodie and hand it to the person. I have found over the years that Joel, not only is he serious, and that he is a man of few words, but he had, or he still does, he got a whole lot of friends. And one day he heard me saying, I have only 5 friends. And he said, am I one of your friends? And I said, yes, you're one of the 5. And he said, I count that to be a privilege, but I thought that it should be the other way around, me thinking it was a privilege to be one of Joel's friends, since he had countless friends, but he always found time for me. So Joel, I want to wish you a happy retirement and all that goes with a retirement. I'm gonna miss you, but I wish you all the best.
Mrs. Gail Lewis joined the National Insurance Department on the 1st of April 1985 as a Data Entry Operator 1. She was promoted to senior clerk until her retirement on the 4th of May 2020.
Gail Lewis. The initials of her names speak to the type of person she is. A godly lady, soft-spoken, shy, well-poised, well-groomed. Gail took each day in stride. A true asset. She added value to this organization for over 30 years. NIS has indeed benefited from this gem. A gem indeed. Gail was very approachable and easygoing. Daily, she could be seen going about her job in a very professional manner. Gail exhibited knowledge, dedication, and commitment when executing her duties. Meticulous in how she performed all her duties assigned, and without complaining, she strived for satisfaction for each customer. When she was unsure about a query, she would ask for assistance. She was always willing and ready to assist in directing customers to where they could go and receive the necessary help. Both customers and staff have benefited from her expertise, whether it was with queries, in training, or working out benefits. Gail loved God, and her walk with Him was evident. She not only talked the talk, but she walked it out on her job. She always stood on what she believed to be right and what the Word of God said. She will be missed among her workmates. Gail, enjoy happy retirement with bountiful blessings and God's health and strength.
Mr. Glenroy Gittins joined the National Insurance Department on the 2nd of August 1999 as Chief Internal Auditor. Mr. Gittins continued in that post until his tenure on the 9th of June 2020.
Good evening, everyone. My first memory of Glenroy Gittins was the day he came to the director's office to bring his audit report to the director. We just hit it off from then. Glenroy would come every morning on the pretense of bringing information to the director. But the truth was, he came over to make the girls laugh with some story. Glenroy likes to laugh, dance, and have fun. He loved his African wear, and like a true African, loved hefty women. Glenroy would carry a serious look on his face, but he was approachable. Glenroy had a lot of wives, and I was one of them. Not sure if I was number 1, 2, or 3, but I was amongst the lot. Glenroy is my friend. He was very supportive and considerate to me when my sister died, and I thank him for that. When he traveled, he would always return with something for the girls in the admin section. Glenroy, I love you, and congratulations on your retirement.
Many thanks to all of those who took the time to give those positive remarks on our retirees and for the sterling contributions they made to the development of the National Insurance Department. Congratulations and all the best as you begin this new chapter in your life. This evening, we also acknowledge the following 4 officers who have proceeded on pre-retirement leave. Deborah Small, Senior Clerk, was assigned to the National Insurance Department 4 years ago and worked in the benefits section. Ms. Small's retirement date is the 1st of July 2020. Shirlene Douglas, Senior Clerk, joined this department 34 years ago and served in the accounts, collection, benefits, and compliance sections. Ms. Douglas will officially retire on the 1st of July 2020. Sonja Bissam, Inspector, has given this department 34 years of service. She started as clerical officer and went to inspector in the compliance section until her retirement on the 1st of August 2020. Sylvia Brewster, clerical officer, worked at the NIS for 19 years in the collection section. Ms. Brewster will retire on the 10th of July 2020. Happy retirement, girls. We continue the GEM Awards with our special awards such as Academic Achiever of the Year, Customer Service Excellence, Unit Team of the Year, and Employee of the Year award. The Opal Award for Academic Achiever of the Year recognizes individuals in the organization for outstanding achievement. All of the nominees for this award completed their course of study at the University of the West Indies, Cave Hill campus. The nominees are Miss Susan Drakes. Miss Drakes completed a Bachelor of Science degree in Economics and Management. Miss Shakenya Mears. Miss Mears completed her master's degree in Human Resource Management. And Miss Renee Waterman. Miss Waterman also completed her master's degree in Human Resource Management. And the Academic Achiever of the Year award goes to Miss Renee Waterman. Congratulations to all three of our nominees for successfully completing their studies, and congratulations to the winner, Miss Renee Waterman. Now on to our Customer Service Excellence Award. There are 2 nominees for this award. The first nominee is Mrs. Caroline Smith. This employee is a member of the compliance section as acting inspector. The work of the compliance section is critical in ensuring that benefits are processed in a timely and efficient manner, and that employers honor their commitment to the National Insurance Fund. The work of an NIS inspector can be challenging, to say the least. For example, visits to employers, surveying of wages records or employers, and collecting, correcting, and facilitating the processing of earning schedules. However, this employee still finds the time to assist the benefits section where she formerly worked, ensuring that pensions are completed on time. She has an excellent memory, is committed to her work, and is dedicated to excellent service delivery. She is not one to get easily flustered when the heat is on, and possesses a calm demeanor. Her work is exemplary and should not go unrewarded. Ladies and gentlemen, our nominee, Mrs. Caroline Smith, for the Customer Service Excellence Award. The second nominee for Customer Service Excellence Award is Mr. Justin Cumberbatch. This officer is relatively new to the organization, always neatly attired, pleasant, and approachable. He demonstrates excellent work ethics and a high degree of initiative in the performance of his duties. His keen interest in the assigned task is a true indication of his willingness and desire to learn. He made it his business to learn and understand about pensions and payments. This was accomplished through visiting the benefits section whenever possible, or calling and querying different aspects relative to the payment of these benefits. An example of this dedication and commitment was a call made to the benefits section querying 2 different benefit types issued to a pensioner. This swift intervention averted a possible overpayment to the pensioner and contributed to cost savings for the department. Excellent customer service is displayed to both internal and external customers alike. If unable to answer your call promptly, you certainly will receive a return call inquiring about your concern and how he may assist you. Daily, he has shown his continuous interest and commitment to assist customers. When persons visit the office to inquire the status of their pensions and he recognizes an existing problem, he takes the initiative to refer it to the next level in order to expedite the payment. Also, from discussions with other colleagues in the department, they too express the same sentiments that he is indeed a valuable asset to this organization. Since people are and will always be our greatest assets, we therefore wish to extend our appreciation for your amazing contribution, diligence, self-motivation, as well as dedication to always go the extra mile to achieve the best possible outcome. In recognition of your outstanding performance, ladies and gentlemen, nominee Mr. Justin Cumberbatch for Customer Service Excellence Award. So excellent has been the contribution of these two officers that they are both awarded for Annual Customer Service Excellence Award. Congratulations to both Mrs. Caroline Smith and Mr. Justin Cumberbatch. The Onyx Award for Unit Team of the Year. 7 teams have been nominated for this award. The first team for the Onyx Award is the Records Management section. This section is truly the lifeline of the National Insurance Department. It is tucked away in the middle of the building, unseen just like the human heart. Similarly, it maintains a constant rhythmic beat of keys as it processes documents, giving support to other sections. The section was under pressure from the beginning of the year, with a shortened staff complement and an overwhelming increase in severance, unemployment sickness forms, and claim attachments. The processes of the section are similar to a production line, where each desk is dependent on another to complete its daily work schedule. This team worked as a cohesive unit with a high degree of camaraderie and efficiency, in that if an officer is absent, the others willingly share the workload so that at least the main functions of the section are completed. During the month of May, the records show that 9,288 records were coded and batched. 9,456 records were scanned. 9,436 records were validated, and 9,309 records were verified. The labeling process was kept up to date during this period. This feature was accomplished by the staff reducing their lunch hours and working well past their normal working hours. The section is responsible for processing all incoming mail to the point where it is available to other sections in the organization. This may include sorting, recording, coding, batching, scanning, validating, verifying, labeling, filing, and storing all documents. This enables the claims to be processed so that the business partners receive their payments in a timely manner. The nominees are Glennis Yearwood, Jaleesa Leacock, Kurt Yard, Stellene Ford, Suzanne Smith, Francia Johnson Stewart, Ronaldo Hinkson, Tamikia Skeet, and Heather Johnson. The second team for the Onyx Award is the Benefits section. Several months ago, a number of new officers received one-on-one training in funeral grants along with other long-term benefits. These officers were well on their way, processing funeral grants and doing what it took to get the backlog of work to a minimum. They worked assiduously on the claims with much eagerness and adopted a team-oriented approach. Although the eagerness was there, they encountered several issues, some of which included missing information for several old claims, claims which had several errors, customers who were not responding to calls or the several letters that were sent. Although this task was very daunting, they persevered. There were several occasions these officers walked in and out of the department, attending to customers. It was an amazing team effort by each of them to get business partners to bring in the required documentation. When a team works well together as a unit, they are able to accomplish more than its individual members can do alone. Working together helps the team to become more efficient and have a sense of accomplishment. The team members are Shaquila Ross, Tanya Blackman, Louis Broom, Carol Medford, Gail Wood, and Ijana Farrell, all nominated for a Unit Team of the Year award. The third team is the Medical and Traveling Expense Team in the Benefits section. Throughout the month of October, a group of resilient staff members within the Benefits section have truly proven that teamwork does make the dream work. These individuals were faced with a monumental task of processing what is medical and traveling expenses. The team encountered several challenges, some of which included system issues, missing information, ambiguous and incorrect information, incorrect completion of the medical and traveling expense forms, and several medicals were submitted without a corresponding injury. Despite the challenges they encountered, these officers continued to work together and push through the most difficult claims. In October 2019, these officers made a significant dent in the number of outstanding medical and traveling expenses. As a result of their cohesive teamwork, several business partners were happy to receive their money. So yes, teamwork does make the dream work. They adopted an optimistic attitude and they maintained a strong and respectful working relationship with each other. The Medical and Traveling Expense Team for Unit Team of the Year are Sanshia Clark, Andrea Aline, Gloria Haynes, Richard Cox, Christopher Yard, Valma Walks, Anthony Sobers, Milanese Masco, and Andre Ford. The fourth team is the Customer Relations section. During December 2019, the Customer Relations section came under tremendous pressure after some pensioners inadvertently did not receive their checks. The officers in the section were very sympathetic to this situation, and immediately Christmas celebrations came to a halt, and the focus was placed on getting those checks out to the various persons. This team worked relentlessly, liaising with all relevant parties to help customers get their checks. Despite the shortage of staff in the section, the team members who were present collaborated and exemplified what real teamwork is all about. Some did not take a break for lunch. By midday, officers were complaining of being exhausted, but despite this, continued trekking back and forth in the relevant sections, trying all in their power to assist the customers. The professionalism exhibited by the team in dealing with some disgruntled customers was commendable. During the time, the team members processed over 300 walk-in customers. In an effort to expedite matters, every interaction was not recorded. The Customer Relations section was nominated for their dedication and commitment shown during the month of December 2019. The members of the team are Alex Belgrave, Avril Harrison, Carolyn Bess, Carolyn Howard, Claudette Moore, Dale Seeley, Dawn Granham, Farah Lashley, Jacqueline Bowen, Jacqueline Sobers, Karen Wilson, Kay Watts Holder, Kevin Harris, Maxine Boucher, Peggy Prescott, Rashawn Barrow, Rosemary Rayside, Shari Herod Thompson, Shondell Ford, Stephen Clark, Suzanne Drakes, and Tamikia Skeet. The fifth theme is the registration section. New decade, new year, new month, and it seemed as if customers could not wait to get their business at the NIS office expedited. This month started with a steady stream of customers on a daily basis who needed records updated, applications submitted, and queries which, after reviewing some cases, had to be redirected to other sections. With a total of 4 clerical officers and 1 senior clerk, the workload at times during the month was heavily impacted by short staff due to unforeseen circumstances. The total number of benefit-related applications received and completed during the month were 765, and the registration of 451 doctors. 1,268 customers were serviced during the month of January. The registration section serving the public to please. Great things are done when men and mountains meet. William Blake. The registration section is proudly recommended for Unit Team of the Year. The team members are Natasha Walton, Cliff Ford, Tracia Griffith, and Keisha Goddard. The 6th nominee for Unit Team of the Year is the Unemployment Section. On the 23rd of March 2020, the Unemployment Section demonstrated a high level of commitment to the National Insurance Department. The section experienced an exceedingly high number of unemployment claimants coming to the section due to the COVID-19 business closures. The employees used their initiative and decided that the earlier opening of the office from its accustomed 7:30 a.m. was necessary to accommodate the public. They therefore commenced serving the public from as early as 6 a.m. That day, over 930 customers visited the unemployment section. For the rest of the week, the section continued the tireless work that was initiated on the 23rd of March 2020, going right through the day. All told, the figures for that week and month eclipsed 4,000 and 6,000 respectively. The performance as a team reflects the attitude of the section and department as we try to assist our brothers and sisters, and warrants our applause and immense appreciation alongside those other essential workers, example, nurses, police, and doctors, and so on. And for this, the unemployment section has been nominated for Unit Team of the Year. The members are Cheryl Bennett, Carrie-Ann Allen, Jennifer Whitney Nelson, Ryan Johnson, Anne Marie Willett, Rhea Payne, and Nigel Morris. The 7th and final team nominated for the Onyx or the Unit Team of the Year award is the collection section. During the month of April 2020, the collection section was extremely short-staffed with 3 cashiers out of a total of 7 on duty. As the 15th of the month approached, the influx of contribution schedules and checks received were tremendous. Mr. Jamal Whitney, Miss Stacia Baker, and Miss Raquel Broom were the cashiers working to receive the payments from persons still venturing to the office. In addition to processing the batches of checks at their desks, they also had to open an increased amount of mail that came in on the 15th. Sherry Padmore is one of our refunds clerk who stepped into a cashier role offering assistance where needed. Sherry Smith also visited the office to keep batches and open the mail. Aren't they true team players? After such diligent work, and after many tiring weeks of holding down the fort, Mr. Whitney and Miss Baker decided to come to the office on Saturday, the 9th of May, to complete the remaining batches assigned ahead of the quickly approaching May 15th contribution deadline. The team was also assisted by Mernez Hardin, who opened the mail and sorted the checks into batches while also conducting quality assurance. The National Insurance is very appreciative of their efforts at that difficult time. Their dedication and drive must not go unappreciated. These officers play a vital role in the department's operations. It is for this reason that the officers are recommended for a Unit Team of the Year award. The team members are Jamal Whitney, Raquel Broom, Sherry Padmore, Stacia Baker, Sherry Smith, and Mernez Hardin. The winner of the Unit Team of the Year goes to the Records Management Section. Congratulations to the Records Management Section and to all of our nominees. We are on to the Supervisor of the Year award. There are 2 nominees for this award. The first nominee is Mrs. Valma Walks, Senior Clerk from the Benefits Section. This officer has been successfully contributing to the National Insurance Office for over 30 years and is considered as one of the stalwarts of the Benefits Section. As a supervisor, her daily duties include approving benefit claims for payments, and she's often seen mentoring and training new persons to the office. This is what her supervisor had to say. I've had the opportunity to observe this officer on a daily basis. I have found that she is diligent, efficient, and she has a distinct ability to work through difficult claims. She is very detail-oriented, thorough, and effective in the completion of all her tasks. Her willingness to help and serve customers is evident as she mitigates difficult problems as they arise. For the period June to September 2019, the records showed that she surpassed the stipulated benchmark. Due to her consistency, she has completed a total of 2,896 claims, an average of 724 claims monthly. This productivity was driven by a desire to reduce the tremendous backlog of work facing the section. Total claims approved for the month of September were 819. Mrs. Walks is commended for her sterling contribution to the section and the role she plays in the achievement of the organization's goals. Finally, we thank her for the positive attitude displayed even within challenging situations. Ms. Valma Walks, nominee for Supervisor of the Year award. The second nominee for Supervisor of the Year is Mr. Steve Austin. This officer's main duties include supervision of cashiers, assisting with the balancing of cashiers, liaising with compliance and severance sections regarding the processing of arrears, responding to queries and correspondence, batching payments for distribution to cashiers, and reversal of incorrect payments posted to business partner accounts. Daily, this officer must multitask between the supervision of cashiers, queries from colleagues, telephone queries, as well as walk-ins. His workload is always intensive, but he never complains, and he always possesses a jovial disposition. Steve is dependable, always willing to assist his peers, always willing to go the extra mile. In his interaction with customers, Steve is extremely polite and patient. One customer outlined her pleasant experience with Steve in an email dated March 4th, 2020, highlighting his superb customer service. On numerous occasions, Steve could be overheard painstakingly explaining the intricacies of the portal to customers. In early January, Steve decided to create a poster inviting business partners to register to submit their earnings online. This simple initiative alerted many of our customers to this offering, and many remarked that they were unaware that this was even possible. In February, Steve approached his section head with his interest to learn the clearing procedure. As a result of this training, he would be able to offer enhanced customer service to more business partners by performing account maintenance on their business partner accounts. Clearing transaction is an arduous task, but he was eager to learn. This is testimony to his devotion to his job. His supervisor says he is a pleasure to work with. Steve is commended for his excellent customer service, dedication to his job, and steadfast support. Mr. Steve Austin, nominee for Supervisor of the Year Award. And the Supervisor of the Year is Mr. Steve Austin. Congratulations, Steve. Job well done. Congratulations also to Valma for all of her hard work and dedication to the National Insurance Department. Now on to the Topaz Directors Award. This year's awardee is a seasoned officer, well-grounded in the national insurance legislation, especially that governing the payment of benefits. Familiar with the manual and all iterations of the computerized benefit processing systems, she is described as frank, knowledgeable, competent, determined, professional, and hardworking. Although officially reassigned during the period under review, she continued to provide substantial support to her former section, successfully performing the roles of advisor, troubleshooter, resource person, and training officer. She is a stickler for doing it right the first time and is very thorough. A patient teacher who will freely share her knowledge, but only with those who are genuinely interested. All others should stay out of her classroom. She has trained a number of officers at varying levels in claims processing to assist them in reaching the desired level of competence necessary for the department to reach its service delivery goals. She also worked with employers ensuring their compliance with the national insurance legislation and continues to be a team player on whom the department can depend. It therefore gives me great pleasure in declaring Mrs. Lisa Wood as the deserving recipient of the Topaz Directors Award for 2019-2020. Congratulations, Lisa. The final award tonight is Employee of the Year. 5 persons have been nominated in this category. They are Meldine Sargent, Ronaldo Hinkson, Kay Chandler, Sheldon Blades, and Stacia Baker. The first nominee for Employee of the Year is Meldine Sargent, legal assistant attached to the legal unit. Eager, effervescent, excited, and dynamic, this officer is always the life of the section. Where she gets the energy baffles everyone. Her dedication to the work of the section, and by extension of the National Insurance Department, is exemplified by her willingness to assist all her colleagues as the need arises. She is like a volcano, but of a different nature. In the month of May 2019, this officer assisted one of her colleagues who was preparing to go on maternity leave. Without hesitation, she accompanied the said officer with the filing and serving of unpaid national insurance certificates at the High Court, Magistrate Court, and on delinquent employers. With this, she made sure that the officer was safe and comfortable as she carried out her duties in an effective manner. This was all done while conducting and completing her other duties, such as carrying out searches at the Corporate Affairs and Intellectual Property Office, the Land Registry, and the various courts. This officer oftentimes worked long beyond her appointed hours to ensure that the interests of the National Insurance Office were secured. Apart from her high level of performance, this officer has a positive personality, and she is a team player who always displays enthusiastic and positive behavior in the workplace. Due to her knowledge and expertise, Miss Meldine Sargent has been and continues to be an asset to the legal unit and by extension to the National Insurance Department. Ms. Sargent has been nominated for the award of Employee of the Year. The second nominee for this award is Mr. Ronaldo Hinkson, Clerical Officer in the Records Management Section. If there was a national award for the clerical officer who exemplified what an employee of the Crown looks like, this officer would receive it with honors. He is a manager's dream employee, hardworking, dedicated, self-motivated, and industrious. He is a team player and is not afraid to take the lead if he has to. Amongst these qualities, he is also mannerly, respectful, and interacts well with all members of staff. His contribution to the section is invaluable. He is well-rounded and is not afraid to tackle any new task, no matter how daunting it may appear to be. During the period under review, his workload increased significantly due to the absence of other staff members who were off on sick leave. But after prioritizing the work at his desk, he was able to complete his daily duties as well as the additional ones assigned to him without complaining. This officer has maintained a high level of productivity where he reached all targets set and completed each assigned task on a daily basis. This officer is punctual and is seldom absent from work. Mr. Ronaldo Hinkson should be commended for his effort and dedication to the smooth functioning of the Records Management Section. The third nominee is Ms. Kay Chandler, Clerical Officer of the Benefits Section. This officer can process all short-term benefit types, as well as all long-term benefit claims. A few months ago, this officer was assigned to the Employment Injury Team to assist with the outstanding injury claims that are on the system. She worked tirelessly, day by day, to reduce the backlog of those claims. This was not an easy task. The officer encountered issues with some employers who took too long to return the reports. Because of this officer's persistent nature and determination to retrieve these reports, she adopted efficient methods which worked for her. Kay has made a valuable contribution to the employment injury team. The dedication is greatly appreciated. Nominee, Miss Kay Chandler. The fourth nominee for Employee of the Year is Mr. Sheldon Blades, accounts clerk attached to the accounts department. This officer exemplifies what being a true team player should be in the work environment. He displays a strong work ethic and is an asset to his department. He is always willing to learn new tasks, regardless of how simple or complicated it might seem. This officer is always willing to assist both internal and external customers. During the month of April, when several of the department's officers were on special leave, this officer was called upon to carry out his regular duties, along with full-time duties at a desk where he usually serves as relief. He worked both desks efficiently and effectively, showing maturity and strong character, not complaining once about the task he undertook. He also worked after hours to make sure the tasks at his substantive desk were completed. At times when asked if he had eaten, he replied that he had a little something and would take lunch later. This officer attended work every day for the month of April 2020 and served 1,097 external customers and 50 internal customers. He was due to take a much-deserved vacation commencing on May 25th, and when the head of section asked him to start his vacation a day later, the officer, realizing that it was a very important day to the National Insurance Department, without hesitation, he willingly agreed. Mr. Sheldon Blades has been nominated for Employee of the Year. The fifth and final nominee is Miss Stacia Baker from Collections Section. During the month of December 2019, the Collections Section was short-staffed. This was further compounded by the transfer of an officer from the section. It proved to be a trying time. As the 15th of the month approached, the levels of contribution schedules and checks received steadily increased. Using her initiative, Ms. Stacy Baker made the extra effort, recognizing that as short-staffed as the section was, the mail had to be opened with haste so that batches would be ready for keying. Ms. Baker, who is usually very cooperative, easy to get along with, and always willing to take on additional task assignments, went above and beyond to ensure that the collection team met their goals. With her commitment, attitude, and initiative, she is an invaluable asset to the team. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Stacia Baker, nominee for Employee of the Year. The Employee of the Year. This is the big one. The Employee of the Year award goes to Mr. Sheldon Blades. Congratulations, Mr. Blades, on winning your award. Congratulations to all of our nominees for Employee of the Year. You all have done well. Thank you for viewing our GEM Awards. I enjoyed being your host. Do have an enjoyable evening.